All right, my amazing artists. Now, if you've gotten to this video, that means you finished your pizza crust, looking good. You've cut out your pizza sauce, and now you're ready to cut out some of the toppings. So in your kit, you've gotten several different colors of felt. I've got white and yellow. I've got this maroonish color, brown, gray, green, orange. If you are missing one of the colors, don't sweat it. If you have a lot of one color, awesome. You don't have to use it all. You can save some for another project. But each one of these colors is for a particular topping, and I've listed them out and drawn them out here. Your white and yellows for cheese, red for pepperoni, black for olives. If you want to add eyes onto your pizza, like make him a little character or something, you'll probably want to save one of the whites and maybe one or two of the blacks for the eyes. But if you don't, you can just have extra cheese and olives. Brown is for mushrooms, and then green and orange is for bell pepper. And the gray is for anchovies, which is tiny little fish, if you want to add some of that. And this is pepperoni. So there's two ways to approach this. One is you can take your Sharpie and actually draw out whatever you want to cut out, just so it looks right. Then cut it out of the felt and then sew it upside down so that your markings can't be seen. So if I was to do a pepperoni, I would you kind of have to go slow when you color on fabric because the fabric can move really easily. So just go slow. I might do one pepperoni that big. I might do one a little bit smaller. I don't know. Let's do one more. And you know what? I probably should have drawn this one over closer to the side in the corner so that if I wanted to do one more big one this size, I could have done it over here. But since I chose to do it in the middle, I'm only going to have enough left over for like a smaller size. Grab your scissors and slowly cut all around your pepperoni. Make sure whenever you're cutting curved lines that you turn the fabric, not your scissors. Your scissors stay pointed away from you. The nice thing about this is you can always trim any corners off. Looking good. So when I sew it on, I'll just make sure to sew it like this side up so that I can't see any of my markers. If the fabric's getting in your way like that, just cut it off. That way it's a little bit easier to navigate. Okay, so I got my pepperoni. Now it's time for some cheese. I'm going to start out with just one yellow and one white. And I'm just going to cut as straight as I can and as evenly as I can, little strips. Now, if you're having trouble cutting your fabric, one of the tricks I tell people is cut from here instead of here. So open your scissors up wide because that's where the most power of the scissors is closer to the bottom instead of the tip. And I'll do some white. This is kind of long. I might want mine to be a little bit shorter, maybe like this. All right, so here I've got some cheese. I'm going to save these in case I need to make more cheese or if I want to make like some eyes. And mushrooms. Now, mushrooms typically are like this shape. Now, you can try to draw that shape onto your brown, but sometimes instead of drawing with Sharpie, I like to just let my scissors do the drawing, as Matisse used to say. So I'm going to cut out a square, and this is going to sort of guide me in how I do my mushroom. I'm going to do a curved line at the top, come in and sort of cut around the shape. So let me show you how I do mushrooms. Boom. And you can make a few of those if you'd like, unless you don't like mushrooms on your pizza, in which case you don't have to use the brown. All right. Now, for anchovies, I might cut this one in half and do one larger. Actually, I'm not going to cut it in half. I'm going to try and draw two different anchovies on this one. I like to draw my anchovies just because I find the shape is a little bit harder. But if you want to try just drawing with your scissors, go right ahead. Just make sure that you leave enough space here so that the tail doesn't fall off. And if you mess up drawing, don't worry about it because you won't be able to see your markings because they're going to go this side down when you put them on your sauce. Boop. All right, there's my anchovies. All right, so bell peppers. Bell peppers, when you look at pizza, a lot of times they just look like colorful little squares or like little slightly curved strips like this. Although, if you've ever cut into a bell pepper, they have a really cool shape on the inside. They kind of almost look like clover on the inside. So you could experiment with making your bell peppers look almost like you slice them, or maybe there's part that is missing and you still got that cool clover inside, or if you want to just do like a strip that's kind of curved like that. I feel like this is the kind I see on pizza most, but I really like these shapes, so I might try and do one of these shapes just for fun. I'll start with light green. And I'm going to go ahead and sketch this out just to give me an idea of where to cut. Some of you in your kits may only have one green or may not have gotten any orange. That's okay, just use what you got. So I'm going to cut the inside of this first. I want to show you how to do that because obviously you can't stab through your fabric, but what you can do with fabric is fold it. So if you fold your fabric and very slowly and carefully cut a little notch on the inside, then you can open your fabric back up and start cutting out the inside very safely and slowly. If you're really struggling with cutting out the inside of something, just ask an adult for some help with this step. I want to go really slow so I don't accidentally cut the outside part. And then once I've cut that, of course I can go back. There I go. You know what? That almost looks like a jalapeno or something. Maybe I could say this one's a jalapeno. Jalapeno. I like that shape a lot. Let's try maybe just maybe a curved line one. That one seems like maybe I could do it just with my scissors. So I want it to be about this long and just gently curved and make a rainbow shape. And then make a rainbow shape on the bottom. There we go. You know what? This one looks like it would be a good bell pepper strip. Maybe I could do it one more. Gotta be really careful when I'm cutting small pieces of fabric. Cool. Okay. So I've got this for bell pepper. I've got this. And maybe on this orange one, I'll try bell pepper that's been kind of half cut open. Ooh, if I'm doing eyes for my pizza, bell pepper would make cool eyebrows. Ooh, and maybe this would make a cool nose or mouth. Interesting. We'll play with that later. I don't want to make it too big because remember my sauce is only this big. So I have to keep size in mind. All right, cool. So now I've got some bell peppers for my pizza. I'm going to save those scraps in case I want to make some more. And lastly, I've got these black pieces for olives. Now, olives sometimes look just like ovals, but sometimes black olives, when they've been sliced, have a hole in the middle where the pit used to be. So you can do your olives either way, or maybe even both. So for my closed black olives, those are pretty easy to make. I just make a oval, and if I have like pointy parts in my oval, I'm super easy to just trim those off. So I can make some like that. That would be cool for an eye, maybe if I was doing a face on my pizza. Well, let me show you how to do an olive with the middle cut out, so an olive slice. I'm going to start out just a regular olive shape, and then I'm going to do my trick where I fold it in half. Now please, please, please be very careful when you work with small pieces of fabric. Go slow, make sure you're only cutting stuff out that you actually want to be cutting. Now this one, I just sort of did a rainbow shape with my scissors. And then when I open it up, I've got an olive slice. So you can experiment with that. I'm going to save these scraps in case I want to make some more or use it for details for my pizza face. Once you've got all of your toppings, you are ready to start tacking them onto your sauce.